Alright, what's up everyone? So today we are going to be installing the first piece of the Rocket Bunny kit. I've been kind of like breaking off pieces and seeing what I can do piece by piece, and so as far as I can tell I can do the spoiler without having to touch any of the other stuff, so that's what we're going to get to today. So the plan of attack, I got the spoiler right there. I got the stock one here with this clear coat that's been peeling off, and I got some kite string. So basically I need to take the kite string, stick it in here, and cut the double-sided tape that's holding this off, and so I can take this off. Other people use like fishing line and stuff like that, but I didn't have any, so this is the best I have. So the other piece we're going to be looking at too is, you know, people always comment about how bad the fitment is on rep stuff, so we'll have to check some of that out. I'm sure it won't be the best, but we can check it out. I need to see if I need to take these badges off or not. So let's get going and start taking this puppy off. Got the stock wing off. Let's see, there's a lot of dirt underneath, so I need to clean that off and then get this double-sided tape off as well. Figure out something to close these holes with. Test fitting this wing. See that the Nissan logo badge is going to need to come off back there. And yeah, you can start to see what people talk about with bad fitment. Gap here. But also like things like these holes are not really drilled out. So let's get this badge taken off. And we got that off. So what I'm going to do to get some of this tape off is come back with a razor blade and basically just razor blade it off. And then I have this little wheel that goes on a drill, that the wheel is basically made out of like eraser material, and it will then take off a lot of the kind of leftover junk. So I'm gonna go grab a razor blade and start razor blading this off. All right, so when I use the tool, I don't want the dirt to scratch up the paint as much as I can protect the paint. So I'm just kind of rinsing or wiping off the dust and dirt that's accumulated over the years. So this is the tool. You can see you just stick it on a drill bit, it runs around like that. It's basically a giant eraser. So you pretty much just go like this. You can see there's that little bit there. Just over the paint. You can see that little bit. Now it's gone. So I'm gonna be doing that across this whole thing. All right, so you can see this is from about 2 minutes of doing it. It does get a bunch of these eraser bits everywhere, but it basically goes super quick. All right, so it's a new day. I'm basically going to be cleaning up the wing now. It is a rep wing, and so it has pretty bad quality in terms of finish on it, so I'll show you what I'm talking about. So you can see here there's like holes like this where, first of all, they're not supposed to be holes, but they're supposed to be indents like this. This is probably one of the cleaner ones, but you can see some of them are just like completely filled in with crap, and so I need to figure out a way to unfill this so that I can put my hardware in the hole. And so this hardware just needs to like sit in there, and then I'll drill a hole in it. Gonna be getting sandpaper and just trying sanding this out and seeing if that works. If not, I'll come around with a Dremel and Dremel this out. So I want to give you all a good kind of understanding of what you get when you get rep, because I couldn't really figure out or like find many reviews online and stuff like that of rep kits. It's probably because they're pretty bad. You know, I wouldn't say that. I mean, they're a much cheaper kit, and so it makes sense why the quality is so low. And so you all should just kind of know what you're getting into when you buy it. But I'll show you kind of what my thinking is so far of how I'm gonna get this kit mounted to my car. So as you can see, I've started kind of sanding out some of the holes, which has helped some, but honestly, on the back of it, there's not really a ton of material, and so I'm afraid if I sand through too much, it will just like go all the way through. Whereas like on this hole, there's like a much larger bump on the back. Whereas this one, it's like almost flat. And so I kind of cleaned up a few of the holes a little bit. This one I still need to clean up, but it's basically flat completely on the back. And so I think what I'm gonna have to do is basically, I got Downstar hardware, which comes with these little kind of like things or collars that go around your bolt or whatever. And so I think I'm probably just gonna line it up as close as I can and then draw where I want to drill the holes and then drill the holes. And so it will be kind of shitty because like honestly, on an actual Rocket Bunny kit, it would be more similar to this, except I think it's like fully inlaid. And so that definitely looks a lot better than like that. But I'm not actually sure that I have much of a choice here with the rep kit. So that's one big difference I'm noticing from real Rocket Bunny kits to rep kits is like these holes and stuff are just like, or these little divots are pretty bad on rep kits. Then in addition to that, there's like, you can kind of see this line is like super wavy and things like that. And it kind of like dips in pretty far here and then comes back out. So those are kind of the main differences that I'm seeing right now, just comparing to like videos of real Rocket Bunny kits that I've seen on YouTube. So yeah, if you are going to go rep, just keep that in mind. There is more work, or things won't look as good. Like this hole is on the top of my trunk, and so like that's how it's going to look. And from the side, you can see the thing is just sticking way out. So keep that in mind when you buy rep kits. So we got all the holes cut out now, and so now the next thing we need to do is test fit it on the car. And get it kind of like taped down as tight as we can, and then figure out where the holes land on the car, and then get those holes drilled for the nutserts on the actual car after this. Okay, so I got the wing kind of mounted up, but basically I can't get it to fully stay on with the tape. So I'm gonna start drilling some holes so I can get a few of the ones in, and then I can kind of pull this side down and mark where I need to drill it. I got 3 of the things hooked up, and you can see this one basically, because the holes are so bad, I'm having to like readjust where I put these clips so that they can be like going directly straight down into the trunk. So like this hole probably is not going to work because it needs to kind of like go angled and down like that. Now I can kind of line this up and figure out exactly where to drill holes for the next pieces for the top. Alright, so I've gone ahead and mounted, or got a couple of them mounted so that I could fill out kind of exactly where the rest of the holes are. So I marked those in red. They were slightly different from where I was thinking the holes would be originally. So always good to, mount a couple and then see exactly where they line up. So now I'm going to be drilling out all these holes so I can put all the black nutserts into the holes, and then get the wing fully mounted up. So the last couple things that I'm waiting on that will make the wing a final kind of like install before I wrap the whole car is get some weather stripping for the bottom of the wing so that like no water can get all the way into kind of the holes or like underneath the wing. It just makes it a little bit cleaner. And then also vinyl wrapping the wing itself. So I'm gonna vinyl wrap it black because the black part of this, or the back part of this car, will be a black vinyl wrap. And so I can wrap that now, and then it will blend in with my current black paint and be all good. So let's get these holes drilled out. All the holes are drilled and all the nutserts are in. So now let's mount the wing up and see how I did on my measuring. I got it all mounted up. It's actually looking pretty awesome. I got like Downstar hardware, which is pretty nice hardware, and it actually adds quite a bit. So if you're gonna do this, even with the rep kit, I'd say like shell out for the hardware, good hardware, because that kind of adds a lot. So there it is, fully mounted. I'll definitely be pointing out some of the bad parts of it. So like you can see here, there's a massive gap here, which I can cover up with some like weather stripping and stuff like that, but still that's pretty big of a gap. And then you can see the holes here, like when you're actually looking pretty close, you can see that they're not really that clean or anything. So that's kind of one downside. And back here, you can definitely see that they're not clean. But when this is vinyl wrapped, you'll see it less. But overall, like from what I've seen on other like real Rocket Bunny kits, this is pretty decent fitment. So overall, super happy with it. So thanks so much for tuning in. If you like this video, I'll be doing a bunch more with my rep Rocket Bunny kit and fixing up the 350Z and then eventually drifting. So yeah, if you liked it, go ahead and like and subscribe, and I'll see you later. Bye.